we have the current stock market update for SoFi Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker SOFI. Before we begin, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts in the comments below so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So here we have the 4-hour price chart, and as we can see, the stock is trading under a bit of selling pressure into the midpoint of the trading day. Overall, I'm not completely surprised by this, given the fact that there is a very major earnings release that will be posted at the end of the trading session today. So after the closing bell, we will be receiving an earnings report from NVIDIA Corporation. I understand that many people might not think that that is directly related to this stock. However, I don't agree with that. I think that the entire market is going to be affected by this earnings release. I do suggest that people will take a look at my video that I just posted on the NVIDIA earnings release so that we can sort of understand the key metrics and the key points that are going to be watched in that report, because I do believe that overall this earnings release is going to have a tremendous impact on sentiment and on stock market activity, broadly speaking, for the weeks ahead. So, in other words, if we do see a negative number, a negative response to those earnings, I do think that most stocks are going to be trending lower. And then if that does occur, that is the type of event that could lead to damage that's being done on a technical basis to the SoFi price chart as well. I don't think that SoFi is going to be immune to this. SoFi really is in the technology space, so we do have to keep all of this in mind when we're looking at this price chart and we're looking at the potential trends here going forward. So in the remainder of this video, I will be pointing to some specific price levels that I will be watching for this stock, so that people can outline a successful trading strategy, a profitable trading strategy for this stock going forward. So specifically, as we can see here, the share price itself is starting to head lower. We've seen near-term lows coming in at $7.48. This comes after the share prices broke above a key Fibonacci resistance level during the previous session. This level came in at $7.62, and I can explain how we arrived at this level. Essentially, what we're looking at here is the price high coming in at $8.06, and then extending that price movement downward into the $6.01 price lows. And then from there, we can see that the 78.6% fib retracement comes in just above the 760 mark. So as we can see here, this was a fairly critical price break to the top side, and this does suggest that upward momentum here is starting to prevail and that resistance zones are starting to give way. I do think that the earnings report today could sort of change the trajectory if it's bad enough or if it's received badly enough. I really don't expect it to be a negative number, but it's all about the market reaction to the number. And a lot of this is going to be about the guidance figures that are associated with this report. So, if we do see some negative results there, I would expect this stock to start trending lower. And if that does happen, the main level that I'll be watching here really will come in just below the 720 mark. I would call this roughly $7.15. The reason that I'm pointing to this area is because this is where the majority of the exponential moving average cluster currently rests. And if this does occur, if we do see a break of this price level, it would start to take pressure off of the top side and start to suggest that the market is in for, at the very least, a period of consolidation before we're able to make any significant runs higher. So as things currently stand, we do have to look at the indicator reading and the relative strength index. Remember, this is the 4-hour price chart, so it's sort of an intermediate term time frame. And as we can see here, we recently saw a false breakout in the indicator reading itself. So for these reasons, this does issue a bit of caution here in relation to this current breakout, this most recent breakout above the 760 level, because the confirmation that should be found in the indicator reading itself really was not there. As you can see here, after breaking this downtrend to the top side, prices quickly reversed lower. So essentially what that means here, given the fact that we also broke below the exponential moving average on the relative strength index, I'll explain that quickly here. The purple line is the relative strength index, and the rising yellow line here is the moving average of the relative strength index. But here we have the fact that the RSI did start to trend lower, break back below this trend line, and then in addition to that, also broke below its exponential moving average. So when you combine all of those factors together, it starts to look much more like a false breakout. false breakout to the top side. And this does signal a bit of a warning flag here when we're looking at this most recent price break above the $7.60 level. So for these reasons, I do think that the stock is a bit vulnerable at the moment. And if we do start to see some external factors like a poor result in the NVIDIA earnings report, for example, I do think that this could easily send us back to a retest of the 715 level. And then if there's enough negative momentum in the market as a whole, it's going to be very difficult for this price support zone to hold up, to sort of stop the selling pressure, because it's possible at this point that the market reaction overall would just be so substantial that a 4-hour support zone is not going to be enough to contain price action. If all of that does occur, if we do see a break below here, we're going to have to start to reassess this Fibonacci analysis, because then we will need to start to look at this prior uptrend rather than the prior downtrend as a source for potential retracement levels and support and resistance zones going forward. So as things currently stand, the real question with this stock is whether or not we have started to form a base. Clearly, when we pull out in this price chart a bit, we can see that the majority of the momentum is still focused on the downside. Ever since we posted these price highs above the 1050 mark, right around the $10.50 mark, this would have occurred during the end of the 2023 trading period. We can see here that the majority of the price action here has been to the downside. I mean, there's a lot more negative force here than positive force. So the question at this point is whether or not we have started to form a base. There's some evidence that that is the case. If we look at this descending trend line here, we can see that it has started to break, but to the top side. But at the same time, you've got a lot of whipsaw price action here with lower lows in the process. So essentially, this new price low came in at $6.01 relative to the $6.15 that was seen previously. So, there is evidence that we're starting to form a base here, but there are a couple of points of caution that need to be understood, even just on a technical basis, even just on the chart analysis here. But then when we combine that with the fact that there's a major event risk at the end of the market trading day today, what we really can see here is the fact that any downside price movement could be exacerbated, and we could start to see significant fall through to the downside if these negative effects work in alignment with one another. So here's the current market update for SoFi Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker SOFI. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.